You're listening to the Bloodshed Baddies.
Hi, I'm Lex,
And I'm Sam.
and we are the Bloodshed Baddies. And if you recognize us being super goofy and silly, it's because you guessed it, we recorded 2 in a row.
We're trying to get ready for the summer. Hello, baddies. We missed you. Lex,
Sam,
it's a zombie apocalypse.
no,
What's your job? What are you doing?
dying.
No, you have to you survived for a minute. What's your job?
Okay, number one, before I get into this, number one, I am not built to survive a zombie apocalypse. I can't even go camping.
Which is true.
I'm not built for that life. Number two, I don't think I would want to survive the zombie apocalypse. I would not want to be shitting outside and eating Twinkies.
You are such a baby.
I would hate it.
Okay, 3 people on your team. 1 family member, 1 famous person, and 1 friend for your zombie apocalypse. Who is it?
Okay, I'd pick Jake, my brother, for my family
Good one.
member because I think he's probably like, first off, he's the most level-headed out of everybody in our family, so he wouldn't be like, zombies. And second off, he's definitely like more handy than you and I.
True. Very, very true, everybody. Probably can shoot a gun good.
Yeah, definitely better than I could. And he'd like have a plan. He's a man with a plan.
Yes.
For a famous person, ooh, who's somebody that like maybe Vin Diesel? He seems tough.
Okay, I can see it. Sure.
Or like younger Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
Like he can defeat the Terminator. He's got to be able to defeat some kind of zombie.
And a friend.
And our friend. Oh, I would pick our like best couple friend, Alex, the guy in that couple. He like goes camping all the time, and he has climbed a mountain. Like,
very good.
Took days to climb a mountain. Like I think he could help me like survive in the wilderness. I think my job would be like lookout.
Oh, that's a good job for you, I think.
I'd be like, I'd just sit there with my Twinkies. I don't even like Twinkies, but that's the only thing that survives the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, with binoculars. And I'd be like, Jake, zombie. Jake, zombie.
Vin Diesel, zombie.
Okay, what about you?
For me, sorry, Jake, love you. You have been a great member, but I would have to pick Brandon to be my member. 1, he's my husband, duh. 2, Brandon, very calm under pressure. Calm man. He would calm me down my nerves. He'd be, Sam, it's gonna be okay. Always an optimistic fellow. Also a good shot. He likes camping, things like that. It would work.
And he's like a freaking Navy SEAL.
He's a man of the military, so that is going for us as well. So heck yeah. Brandon Fosho. Famous person? Probably Jackie Chan. That man is
Oh my god.
can karate chop all the zombies for us. He could fight. And then for friend wise, honestly, this is a toughie because I do feel like I actually have some decent friends that could like be beneficial in a zombie apocalypse. Like before Brandon's 1 military friends left, like Brandon and I were like, if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, like we're gonna go hang out with them because they like collected guns and stuff. But they're not here anymore. So someone locally close to me, first thought that comes to me is probably my friend Chelsea because
Over
Claire would be incredible. So Claire, do not hate me, but Chelsea knows directions like I've never met in my life before. We were driving in some back street roads to her bachelorette party, and all of a sudden she's like, oh, I think we're about to be in South Carolina. And I'm like, not even kidding you. 5 minutes later, like, welcome to South Carolina sign came up. And we were back roads. No, none of us have ever been on these back roads before. So
Wow,
that would
that's
be an
impressive.
asset. Yes.
Yeah.
Claire, I would love for her to be in as well. But we're also, kind of wow when we get together. So maybe
Claire, Sam likes Chelsea more than you.
no, no, I love you both the same. So yeah. Oh, my job. I feel like I can get down and dirty. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I would be lookout. I don't
No,
necessarily
you'd
know.
like build the house you guys were living in or whatever.
Yes, I
You'd
like
like
that.
build your, I don't know what that's called.
Yes. Like if I have to, I would shoot the zombies. But I feel like out of Jackie Chan and Brandon, I probably wouldn't be shooting duty. So building would be perfect.
Oh, okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please comment below whatever you're seeing this on and tell us who would be your peeps. Tag your
Yeah.
friends, tag your family members in the comments.
Tag your famous people. They'll be like, what are these random people talking about? But thanks. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, are you ready?
I actually am very excited for this one.
This is not as fun as a zombie apocalypse game,
Oh.
but today I'm going to do a case that actually Aunt Dina requested. Hey,
Hey,
Auntie.
Andy, we love you.
I have never heard of this case before, and I had no idea what I was getting into. I actually changed my case last minute because the case I'm doing next week, I just wanted to spend a little bit more time beefing up because it's a pretty like broad topic. So I changed last minute, and I was glad I did because this case was very interesting, but it's also chilling and wild and absolutely heartbreaking.
Ugh,
Today, we are going to talk about Andrea Farrington.
I've never heard of this either.
Andrea Farrington was born in Iowa. And listen to this date she was born, Sam.
Ooh.
On June 23rd, 1994. So she
Lexi's
was
B-Day in my
born,
year.
yes, on my birthday in your birth year, which I don't know,
So,
that was wild to me. It felt very like, whoa,
so we love her.
yes. Andrea graduated high school in 2012 because she was your year.
Oh,
Yeah.
duh.
Andrea was a huge fan of the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Chicago Bears.
Ooh.
She loved cheerleading,
A Sioux girl.
music, Snapchat, and cereal.
Ooh, what kind of cereal do we know?
Not her bio just says she loves cereal.
I can get behind it. I love Special K with the strawberries.
Great. Her favorite color was teal. Everyone said that Andrea was such a positive person. She was bubbly and nice to everyone. She loved kids and she was always willing to like jump in and get silly with them.
Love that.
Andrea actually had an elongated jaw, which caused an overbite. And she was bullied about this in high school a lot. So it
People
made
are so
her
cruel.
very, very insecure. Andrea was dating a guy named Connor. And in February of 2014, she actually had surgery on her jaw. And if you look up the before and after pictures, like it made a huge difference.
So probably gave her some more confidence and back and things like that.
Yes. So Andrea's family and friends said that this immediately improved her confidence.
Heck yeah.
And she also started getting like a lot of attention from like people she went to high school with being like, whoa, this is a huge difference. You look great. But also like from random guys as well. She was getting more attention than she had before. Yes. And Connor and Andrea kind of started going through a rough patch. Andrea's mom says that Connor may have started to like feel a little insecure with the newfound attention that Andrea was receiving, but also with this newfound confidence that she had, it seemed like she was kind of becoming more independent and more like going after what she wanted in life rather than just kind of sitting on the sidelines.
Which is fair, right? People grow apart in instances like that. And this seems to have been a very big change for her and in a positive way. And maybe they just like grew apart a little bit.
Yeah. So in November of 2014, Andrea got a job at a children's museum at the mall. Her title was actually a playologist, which I think is so cute.
I was going to say, I want that job. I want to be a playologist.
So she basically just got to like play and teach the kids.
How fun.
She loved working with kids. So she loved this job. The museum also owned the guest welcome center at the mall, which was like a little kiosk near the food court. So Andrea often worked at the guest welcome center as well.
Cool.
Working at the guest welcome center consisted of answering questions and giving tips to customers, running out wheelchairs, and staying in contact with mall security. When Andrea was working at the welcome center kiosk, she began talking to one of the security offers, Alex Kozak. Alex was 22, and he would often stop by the kiosk when she was working to chat with her.
How old is she at this point?
She's 20.
Okay.
Yeah. Eventually, he asked her for her phone number, but apparently this was like pretty common between the kiosk workers and the security guards, because if the guest center worker had an issue with like that needed security, it was a lot easier to just like call that person on their cell phone than go through like trying to get the security guard there on walkie-talkies and stuff.
For sure. Yeah, like I have a lot of people's numbers that I work with just based on solely like work related things.
Yeah, it was just easier, very common practice. They're all in their 20s, like
Yeah.
easier to text somebody, right? Than be like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Soon, Alex starts texting Andrea often about how pretty and beautiful she is.
That's not professional.
He starts calling her baby.
Oh.
Andrea is still with her boyfriend at this point, but she can't help but like the attention from Alex.
Yeah, it's this cute older guy that's at her work. I can understand it from a 20-year-old perspective.
Yeah. Do I think it's right to have this kind of conversation on a text while you have a boyfriend? No. Do I understand that at 20 years old, this is probably more common than not?
Yes.
In fact, Andrea actually starts to develop a little crush on him, and she starts to get like pretty flirtatious back with him.
Oh, girl.
One day, kind of out of the blue, in a text message, Alex casually mentions his wife.
What? Was not expecting this. The man's 22.
Andrea had no idea that Alex was married.
Oh my gosh.
She is hurt and upset at this. So, what does one do when they find out this news? They get together with a friend and they stalk him on social media.
Yes, I literally was thinking that
They're
same
like,
exact thing.
Facebook, Instagram, let's go. Let's find this guy.
Yes.
So while she's looking him up with her friend, there's like a part of her that's like really hoping that she's gonna like get on his Facebook and find out like he's gonna be in the middle of a divorce and things are gonna be like really tough, right?
For sure. Yeah.
However, he has lots of pictures with his wife that are very recent and they're very happy pictures together.
Then this man is a turd.
Ooh, just you wait.
Oh God.
Also, while they're like scrolling through his posts, you know, like probably, you know how we can get like dissecting every single caption he has on everything.
Yes.
They start to notice that he posts a lot of articles about guns. And he also has like pictures of him holding guns. There's like one picture and he's got like two guns pointed up at him, like, and he's trying to pose all cool.
Which is interesting for a 22-year-old security guard who probably carries a gun every day. I feel like that's odd behavior.
So after this search, Andrea starts to get very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not only is this guy married and has been flirting with her, but he also seems like kind of weirdly into guns.
Yeah. And I can't even imagine like, and yes, she had a boyfriend as well, but like a marriage, that's a commitment. That's totally different than just boyfriend, girlfriend. And to find out that, oh, I really started to like him and he's married, like that's got to feel some type of way.
So Andrea is a baddie. She's
Woo!
a certified baddie. And she confronts Alex about having a wife.
Okay, girl. I like it.
She's like, excuse me, you have a wife.
Yep.
And he's like, well, I'm in like a very unhappy marriage. They were married for like 4 months, by the way, at this point.
Okay, so first off, he's a mega turd. But second off, no, you're not, because all your posts were like these happy, lovey posts.
And he's like, oh, Andrea, I'm thinking about leaving my wife. And Andrea does not care.
Oh, good. Yay.
She's super frustrated with him at this point for putting her in this position. She does not want to be someone who breaks up a marriage. That is not the kind of person she wants to
Good.
be.
Good for her.
So she kind of says like, hey, this isn't going anywhere. You're married.
Woo.
On February 14th, 2015, Andrea receives flowers from Alex at work.
Valentine's Day. after she said, "Get away from me."
Yep.
Creeper Jeeper.
So she starts getting a little scared and she's like, he's obviously not getting this hint that I'm not
Yeah.
interested. I don't like, she's definitely at this point, I don't ever want to like say anything either way. She definitely at this point has like told him she's not interested, but like maybe hasn't been super firm.
Because
But
girls,
she's,
sometimes we try to
yes,
sugarcoat things and say, "Oh, well, you're a great friend, and I still want to be your friend, but get away from me." Like, we don't.
yeah. But this kind of creeps her out because she's like, no, I definitely said like after the way thing, like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she calls her mom at work, and her mom's like, throw them out, just throw them out. But Andrea didn't. She took them home because she was afraid to throw them away at work for Alex to see.
Which is fair. Both sides. Like, mom, good advice. Throw those darn flowers out. Creepy. Give him the hint. But she's like, well, I really don't want to hurt his feelings. And what if he gets super mad and he posts things about guns? And I can understand that.
But when her boyfriend gets home that night,
Oh
he's
boy.
obviously not thrilled that another man has bought her flowers on Valentine's Day.
No, that'd be like you coming home and like Dusty having, I guess, flowers from like, oh, a woman at work. What would you like? I
Oh
would
no,
be
I would
upset.
I would get in my car and leave and block his number and never talk to him again.
Yeah, that's like a no, 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 no.
Yeah. A few weeks later, Andrea's sister Cassie comes and surprises her with a visit. So she actually like shows up at the mall, surprises Andrea. It's like, "Yay, I'm here for a visit." And she can tell Andrea's feeling a little bit down. So she suggests, she's like, "Andrea, why don't you go to the salon and do something new with your hair?" Andrea loved changing her hair. Andrea did like lots of fun colors that she changed often. So, of course, she's like, "You're right, sis. Let me change up my hair."
Woo.
So, on her break, Andrea and Cassie walk over to the salon that's in the mall so Andrea can make an appointment. So, she goes in to find an appointment time that works for her. And Cassie, her sister, goes and she's like, those massage chairs at the mall?
Oh
She
yeah.
goes and she's like sitting outside on the massage chair waiting for Cassie to just like make her appointment. While Andrea's kind of like in the process of walking out of the salon, she gets a text from Alex that said, "Gray sweater, that's your sister, right?"
So now this man is talking.
So Andrea gets creeped out because obviously he's watching her at this
Yes.
point. And like, yes, he's a mall security guard and he works there, but he should not be watching her enough to be like, "Hey, that's your sister
Yeah, to like point out a
sitting
family
outside this
member
salon."
is creepy, creepy. It's not just like, hey, I see you. Like, who you with? It's like, gray sweater, that's your sister. Like, I have my eyes on you. Like, that's a total creepy way to say that.
So she tries to back away and tries to cut things off again. She's like, "Nope, no, thank you." But he will not take no for an answer.
Come on.
Fast, fast forward a couple months later to May. Alex is still relentlessly pursuing Andrea.
Dude, you're married. And also take no. Even if you weren't married, take no as an answer.
It gets to the point where Andrea is so frustrated. She goes and talks to Alex's supervisor and is like, "Listen, I've said
Good.
no. I've said I don't want this to happen anymore. He's still texting me. He's still calling me. He's still coming to see me. He's doing all this stuff." So the supervisor's like, "Okay, this is affecting your guys' work. Neither of you can talk to each other at work anymore. You're not allowed to talk to each other at work."
Which is good, but I feel like for like him already being this obsessive is like gonna cause him to flip his lid.
Well, this does not stop Alex at all.
Ugh.
He continues to stop by the welcome kiosk every time she's working.
Dude, your boss literally told you to stop. You're pushing boundaries up the extreme now.
In fact, at one point, he comes up to her at the kiosks and asks her to send him nudes.
What?
When she refuses, he threatens to blow up her car.
What? That.
And then he laughs it off like it was a joke.
Okay, one, that's not a joke. That's not funny at all. That's not silly. Two, you don't just go up to a woman and ask for nudes, especially a woman who has relentlessly told you to stop, went up to her supervisor and said to stop. That's that's your opener there?
So obviously, Andrea does not find this joke funny because, like you said, that's
No.
not a fucking joke.
No.
And she is now terrified.
Poor frickin' Andrea.
Around the same time, Andrea's realized she's not happy in her relationship and she decides to break up with her boyfriend.
Which was good. Probably should have done it a little bit ago, but
She tells her friend that she loves him as a person, but she's not in love with him anymore.
yep, just growing apart.
So, another thing to know about Andrea is that she loved Jason Aldean. She
Ooh, I
loved,
do
loved,
too.
loved Jason Aldean. So, her and a friend found out that he was coming to Kansas City and they decided they wanted to go. They were stoked. They were like, we're going to go. We're going to get tickets. We're going to travel. We're going to go see him. However, after looking at tickets, like many of us in our early 20s, or maybe even now, they realized it was just way too expensive and she couldn't swing it.
Oh, that makes me sad.
She was bummed, but she was just like, the next time he's in town, I'm going to make sure I'm not a broke girl and I'm going to go see him.
Heck yeah.
One day she finishes up her shift and she heads out to her car. She finds an envelope on her windshield.
Oh God.
It's a note from Alex offering to take her to the Jason Aldean concert.
Okay. I hate everything about this. Like, no, I just hate it. Go ahead.
Again, this terrifies Andrea. Now she knows that he's been watching her closely enough to know what car she drives. Remember, they work at a mall.
I did not even think of that, that there's
This is not a
giants of
small
cars.
parking lot where there's just workers. Like, I know what some of my coworkers drive because we have one parking lot
Yep.
and we all go and leave together, and it's just our cars in the parking lot.
So
But
he's
you're
watching,
at a mall.
yes, and he's watching her close enough to see the car. And then I think he's also watching her close enough to know that she was trying to go to this concert and couldn't, which is
Yes.
extremely terrifying.
Yes. She realizes he's stalking her. Like, this is
Ugh.
the confirmation for her is like, oh, he's actually stalking me. So she drives straight home and she invites a friend to stay the night with her because she's so scared.
That's so sad.
On June 12th, 2015, Andrea actually has a date with someone new.
Yay for her, but I'm sad where the
She's
story's going.
so excited to go. She's so excited to go. So she's actually like at the kiosk talking to one of her coworkers about it. Her and that coworker actually had plans to meet up after the date to talk about the date because the guy was mutual friends with them.
Oh, that's cute.
So they both know him. Andrea's going to go on this date with him. They're talking about how cute it's going to be. And then Andrea and the friend are going to meet up after the date so they can like gossip all about the date.
Yeah, so cute. Like, I want to talk to you all about it.
At 7:30 p.m., they're chatting about this date. And Alex comes up behind Andrea and shoots her 3 times in the back.
What? As they're standing there talking about the date, just out in the open like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
I watched an episode where they cover this and they interview the girl that was standing there.
Oh my God, how traumatizing for that girl as well. You're all excited for your friend. We're gonna meet up afterwards. This, I'm like, oh, I'm actually so in shock. I was not expecting it to happen that quickly or to that abruptly, I guess.
He takes off running. And
Ugh.
obviously, the mall breaks out into chaos.
Yeah.
Dorian Potter is at the mall. He's a retired army medic, and he starts to make bandages out of trash bags to try to stop the bleeding.
Ugh.
Andrea is taken to the hospital and pronounced dead by 8:05 p.m.
What an awful human. I can't even fathom this right now. I have chills.
I am just gonna like say this kind of hard to listen to. It's not like graphic or anything. I just this part like really gave me the chills.
Oh gosh.
The police can't find Alex. They try to chase him through the mall, but he escapes.
Oh,
1 hour after the shooting, he is pulled over on the side of 180 and arrested. So this is the part that's like absolutely chilling to me.
oh gosh.
He is in the back of the police car and they say, "Tell me why you got stopped." And in the calmest voice I have ever heard, because they have recordings of this, he says, Because I shot somebody at the mall. They
Ugh.
ask, who did you shoot? And in that same calm voice, he says, Andrea Jean Farrington.
Full named.
I don't know why him saying her full name
Yeah.
gives me the grossest feeling inside of me, but it does.
I literally have chills all over my body because that's like, I just feel icky. I feel really icky that he's very calm and he said, like we said, full named it is weird.
Alex never gets upset or shaken up during the ride to the police station. In the police interview, Alex again says the most chilling things in the calmest voice you can imagine.
I'm so
It
stressed
is
out.
so wild to me. The police ask him about his relationship with Andrea. He said that him and Andrea were something, a sick and twisted something.
What? What does it even mean by that? Like in your head, buddy, like she was literally telling you to stop a million times.
When police again ask him why he shot Andrea, he says, a part of me wanted to kill her. He told the police that his wife had known about Andrea and his relationship, but she never let on. One of the police officers asks, did you love her? Alex responded, I thought I did. So the police follows up with, then why did you hurt her? He responds that she was a quote, backstabbing, blood sucking, for lack of a better term, whore.
What? What?
This man is insane.
He has to have some things mentally wrong with him because this is the most insane things I've ever heard in my life. And then I also don't believe for one moment that his wife, I mean, maybe you'll come out and tell me that she did, but knew about this and just didn't lead on to it. Like, sir, first off, how do you know that? And then second off, to say that you guys were something sick and weird and then you did this because she was that word, just I'm so grossed out, like
This
literally.
is the scariest kind of man you could ever meet.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, I don't like it.
Alex also says he didn't feel anything when he shot Andrea. No remorse, not good, just not anything. The officer again asks, why did you shoot her? And he said that he was done being strung around.
What the is he talking about? He literally makes me want to vomit. You feel nothing. You loved this girl and you feel nothing, and then you're tired of being strung around. You weren't. The supervisor was telling you to stay away from her.
He alludes to her murder being premeditated by saying something like, I thought about it and then I did it. He also is like, just casually tells the cops, like, yeah, I got rid of a gun at that trash compactor near the mall. I got rid of my wallet at a truck stop and I threw my phone out the window while I was driving.
So he does all of these things to try to not get caught, which to me tells me he knows what he did was wrong, first off, even though he's this crazy psychopath that has no feelings or empathy. And then it's just like, oh yeah, this is where you can find all this stuff.
Yeah. The police ask, if you had the opportunity to say one more thing to Andrea, what would you say?
Oh God, I'm
He
scared.
says that she was right to be afraid of me.
I I'm at a loss for words because that's I just full body went into chills and I can't ever imagine being in the same room as someone that terrifying. That's just the worst thing ever.
Yeah. It like literally makes me feel sick.
Yeah, that's how I
Even
feel right
like
now.
it really made me feel sick hearing him say it. Did not like that. But even just like saying it right now, it makes me feel sick.
Yes.
And then I think like especially to me because he was like he's kind of playing this like oh she was stringing me along kind of narrative, but it's like no, you knew the whole time because you knew
Yes.
she was afraid of you.
Yes, and it's almost like his little ego pride got hurt because she probably said, I'm afraid of you. That's what I'm doing this for. And he's like, you had a right to be. What an insane freak. What an insane freak.
Alex pleaded not guilty and entered a diminished responsibility defense.
What does that mean?
The defense argued that Alex had intermittent explosive disorder and borderline personality disorder that, when combined, caused him to commit this act of violence. They agreed that he committed the crime, but argued he should get a lesser sentence due to his mental illnesses.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Yeah, that's a good choice. During the trial, both his mom and his sister had said that Alex was quick to lose his temper, but it had never turned violent. They said he, like, for a while, they thought he was just like in his angry teen phase.
Yeah.
His wife, yes, remember, he's had a wife this whole time, testified that some days Alex was attentive and happy, and some days he would barely pay attention to her. She said they argued a lot, which always ended up with him yelling and her crying.
Oh my.
She did state that she was always more afraid of him breaking something or hurting himself than of him hurting her.
Which is very sad and tragic anyway, that's your married life is, oh, you're crying and he's yelling and you're afraid he's gonna break something or hurt himself. And I cannot imagine being in her shoes, finding out that your husband did that to someone because their little ego got hurt because they were like essentially cheating on you with someone. It's just terrible.
Mm-hmm. A woman named Jessica testified that she met Alex on a website called Whisper, which was like an anonymous message board and chat website. And they had started chatting. He would often tell her about this girl at his work that was playing with him.
No, Lord.
The day of Andrea's murder, he texted Jessica, this woman, at 4 p.m., saying he was getting sick of Andrea and that he was going to snap. So he was going to drive home to get his Glock and shoot her.
Did Jessica call the police?
Jessica did not think he was serious.
I don't know how old Jessica is. And maybe she was just really stressed out, so I don't want to like say anything bad about her, but like if somebody's telling you that, I feel like you like need to take them seriously, and even if they're joking, you need to call the police in order to protect.
Especially like that's pretty specific. Like
Yes.
I could understand me like, oh, I'm so mad at this girl, I could kill her. Like,
Yep.
still not a nice thing to say, but to say, I'm going to snap, I'm going to go home and get my Glock and shoot her. That's like highly specific.
Yes. And not good.
At 7:11 p.m., less than 20 minutes before he shot Andrea, he sent Jessica a message that said, "Will you run away with me?" She responded, LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like a weird tidbit that I found.
Yeah, especially like after the one comment and then they ask you to run away is
Yeah.
interesting.
Alex is found guilty of first-degree murder and
Good.
sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Good.
Listen to this shit.
Oh Lord.
Jurors only needed 90 minutes to deliberate.
90 minutes.
It took them 90 minutes to be like, yeah,
Dude.
no. They probably just
Yeah.
wanted lunch. They were like, let's eat lunch first.
And
And
then
then
go.
we'll just go say that this guy, like, let's at least get a free meal out of this deal.
But also good jurors because you're doing your job in like convicting this man
Yes.
that clearly did it. So like thank goodness there was good people on there.
Alex had no visible reaction to the verdict.
Dude, this man is insane.
He
Like literally.
apparently he apparently just stared straight into the eyes of the security guard who cuffed him.
I would not want to be that security guard. I would
No.
be pooping my flipping pants.
After the trial ended, Andrea's mom said, "We will keep smiling the way Andrea did."
Ugh.
And that is the insanity story of Andrea Farrington's murder.
That's just like so sad because I feel like a young girl, you know, she's getting some confidence, she's putting herself out there. She's at work meeting this crazy psycho. She's doing the things that, you know, we would say is the correct things to do to go to your boss. She's telling her mom about it. Like, it's just so unfortunate that this is how it ended. And like, honestly, could happen to anybody. You meet this freak person and you give them a little bit of your time, and then it turns into this. I like, it's a tragic, tragic, tragic story. It's nothing more than just completely tragic for Andrea, especially, and then of course her family and friends.
Yes. And if you are in a situation where you have said no and somebody is not listening to you, do what she did. Go to your supervisor at work. If that doesn't work, go to your supervisor's supervisor. Call the police. Do something. These people don't stop.
Put it on
These
record.
people don't stop. Yes. And unfortunately, the system is broken, and there's usually not a lot that police officers can do before you actually get hurt. And then once
Yes.
you get hurt, they're like, oh, I guess we can do something now. And that needs to change. So much needs to change about stalking in America. But
1,000%
get
agree.
it all on record somewhere.
Even something tiny is important. Even if the police say, well, I don't really know. Anything. If you're getting a weird vibe, something tiny like the flowers, you wouldn't think like, oh, let me call the police because someone got me flowers. But at least that it's on record that this is problematic. Like
Take
oftentimes,
pictures, take
yes.
screenshots of text messages, keep a journal, write every interaction down.
Yes, because oftentimes people who experience stalking or things of that nature, they wait until it escalates to call, which is totally normal. You're like, oh, maybe this won't get worse, blah, 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 blah. But then that's when the system is crappy also. You need like a certain amount of times it on record and things like that. So yeah, take pictures, take screenshots, call any little thing, go into the police department. Like if someone's texting you saying they're gonna go kill somebody, call the police. Like, ay, 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 I can't even. This one, this one was a very interesting one. I think a good one to raise awareness to stalking and how easy it can happen to people. But it was a rough one. That one made me sick.
Yeah. And I think, again, like, I never want to, like, this would have happened no matter what, but women don't feel the need to placate men because
Yes.
you don't want to hurt their feelings. Be okay with being like, no, no is a full sentence.
Yes. And we've all been there. We've all done it.
We've all done it.
Yes. So don't feel like, oh my
I
God, I
mean,
did that.
even I was, listening to the episode I watched on TV, and like they were talking about like we even do it at like bars and stuff. If a
Yes.
guy comes up to you, you might say like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend," even if you don't, because you want to let everybody down easy. And like
Yep.
it's also okay to say no.
Yep.
I
And
am
leave it at
not
that.
interested.
Yep.
And it's scary to say that. It is so scary to say that because there are guys like Alex where he was told multiple times by multiple
Yep.
people not to talk to her and he still didn't stop.
Yep.
So say no, say what you mean, and then document everything afterwards.
So sad, but yes. Ugh.
And thank God this man is behind bars in prison for the rest of his life on earth, will not ever get out. So that way he won't ever do this to another woman.
Yes, I 100% agree because people like that don't change. So keep them behind bars.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Please give us a follow on wherever you are listening to the podcast. Like, do a little follow, maybe give us a little review, a nice 5-star review. Maybe like a little comment that says like, love it. Also, make sure that you are following us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. We're at Bloodshed Baddies on all those platforms. On Facebook, look for our page, Bloodshed Baddies Pod, and make sure you're commenting, interacting with our content so that way we can talk to you. We love to hear from you guys. We love case suggestions. We love hearing like, oh, I watched the documentary you guys talked about in that
Yes.
one. We love hearing from you guys. Talk to us. We love to interact with you.
Yeah, speaking of case suggestions, if you want, you can email them to bloodshedbaddies@gmail.com or just like a story or just to say, hey, don't forget our incredible intro music is made by our awesome cousin Vinny. Tell a friend, tell your coworkers, tell everybody you know, and tune in next week for a special episode.
Woo woo.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye bye.